everyone, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you returning subscribers. Thank you newbies. Thank you everyone who is watching this video. I really appreciate it. This message was for you. This message is, what is your type? And we have 4 piles to choose from. We have the pearls for pile number 1, the hearts for pile number 2. It's a heart necklace. I don't know if you can see that. We have the strawberry necklace for pile number 3, and we have the crystal necklace for pile number 4. I want to apologize about the weed whacking outside, but yes, if you need to pause to make your pick, go ahead and do so, but I'm just going to get right into it. What is your type? Pile number 1 for the pearls. What is pile number 1's type? What is your type? We have money, change, so people who transform you from one person to another, people who change you for the better, who make you a better person. Like the pearl is something that is made from sand, right? It's like the aggravation inside the shell from the sand makes a pearl, right? So your type is someone who turns you into a pearl, so to speak, right? So takes you from a grain of sand to a pearl, takes you from one phase of your life to another. We also have love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. For some of you, you might have really faithful and really long-term partners, right? You might be like a serial monogamist, or you might just have had like a lot of long-term steady relationships. Nothing wrong with that, right? You can withstand ups, downs, highs, lows, and you can really grow and learn from your relationships. That's beautiful. We have Pisces. That could be you, or the energy around you, the energy in your relationships. But when we have Pisces energy, this is an energy of sweetness, unconditional love. And with this love endures, especially, this is like you can see past the faults of someone, the aggravation of the sand, and you can see the beauty of them in the end, right? Of like the pearl of a human they have become, right? And you might have changed them too. So your type might be relationships where you both undergo a lot of change. With Pisces, Pisces is very artsy. Pisces is very dreamy, magical, mystical, intuitive. You might have had really intuitive connections. What else can we say about Pisces? Sometimes Pisces can be substance abuse, addiction. So that might have been part of your relationships. You might have transformed yourself through, transformed your addictions, right? Through your relationships. We also have gentle gardener, your type. Someone who is nurturing and loving. Pisces, that watery energy, they tend to be very nurturing and loving. We have everyone's a teacher. It's a lot like what I was saying, where they change you, they transform you, you learn lessons, they turn you from sand to a pearl, because everyone's a teacher, right? They help you grow. We have gratitude. So yeah, I feel like for this pile, like you don't have a whole lot of baggage that perhaps the other piles are going to have. It seems like you have some pretty solid and stable relationships, and like equal partnerships, and lots of love-filled, transformative, growth in your relationship. So let's see what else we have. We have keep an open mind. So, and it says your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. It's funny because we are having a reading about your type, right? So this talks about your type, like your usual type, right? So maybe for you, you don't actually have an actual type. but you have an actual type of relationships. You see what I mean? So you might not have like when we say everyone's a teacher, you might not only date teachers, right? When we say gentle gardener, you might not just date like landscape artists or gardeners, right? But it's like you date all these different types of people from different backgrounds, from different belief systems, but the relationships are always stable. The relationships are always healthy. The relationships are always solid and dreamy, and there's a lot of gratitude, a lot of growth, a lot of change within each other. So yeah, great, love it. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Guys, stop making me jealous of you. So you might have experienced a lot of true love in your life, and that's wonderful. May we all be as blessed as you, right? You might have experienced really impactful relationships that changed your lives forever and that were unique in their own way. And I don't sense a lot of toxicity from this pile, but please let me know. I want to leave it on a happy note, because don't we all? So let me know if that resonated, pile number 1. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. I love you. Bye. Pile number 2 with the heart necklace. My granddad's girlfriend gave me this, and it has gold and silver hearts, right? So you can pair it with any jewelry, because if you only have a silver bracelet, you can pair it with this. If you only have a gold bracelet, you can pair it with this. It's nice, okay? And it's hearts. We all love hearts. So let's see, what's your type for pile number 2? We have Black Cat, fortune meets opportunity. I don't mean this in a bad way, but I feel like this group might resonate with like sugar daddy, sugar baby energy. But let's continue. And I really don't mean it in a bad way. Just like, let's continue. Yeah, we have receive with love and appreciation. So this receiving, right? Receiving gifts. We also have fortune meets opportunity. So I'm thinking like entrepreneur, opportunistic, Fortune 500, that type of personality. So your type might be someone who is rich, who is wealthy, who you can receive a lot of gifts from. No shame in that, no shame. We have Aquarius. You might have odd relationships, unique relationships, bizarre relationships that people don't understand, like a sugar daddy, sugar baby relationship, like someone who is, super older than you are, what else could it be? Same-sex relationships. It could be even quite possibly like from a different culture, right? But this is just sort of unique relationships that a lot of people don't understand, but that definitely stand out. We also have balancing act reversed. So I do feel like you might have sort of like these extreme relationships. But let's see. Let's keep it moving. We have power. Ooh. Sorry, I have to say this. But I immediately thought some of you might have like sub-dom relationships. So it's only going to be like a small percentage of you, I'm sure. But I had to say it. So that's not going to resonate for all, but that could be in this like, unconventional relationship type you have, right? You might also have, with this balancing act and this power, there might be an imbalance of power. And, like I was saying with the subdom, it could be like, someone abusing their power, right? Unequal balance of power. And there could also be like an unequal balance of power because of like money attached to it, right? So like for some of you, you might have fallen into patterns of sort of sacrificing your own personal power because you wanted like to receive material, something material, right? And it could be something as small as like being a stay-at-home mom, which is not bad, right? To, you know, outright prostitution, which I am not against. It's okay. No judgment here. But, yeah, so I just feel like your type is someone who can give to you, but someone who is perhaps dominating and that society doesn't really understand. Generosity. Oh my God, guys. Generosity, receive. Generous, receive. You could also be the type of person who wants to sort of pay their way when it comes to relationships, right? So it could be either or, right? Like you like to receive gifts and you like to give gifts. But your love language definitely is material gifts, right? I'm like, that's strong. Yeah, let me know. Interesting. We also have finances and career. Guys, can I get like any more, like the cards don't lie sometimes. Sometimes they're just like in your face. So finances, fortune, right? Generosity, receive. I'm telling you guys. And we have stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. So I immediately thought of the star card in tarot, which is, it represents Aquarius, right? And the star card is about wishes, staying optimistic, hopeful, optimism. So I feel like in pile 2, your type is someone who gives you a different perspective on how relationships can be done, and they are likely very wealthy, and that could create some power dynamics that could be part of your type. But overall, I feel like this person, or these people, sorry, if you date this type of person over and over again, these people are people who ultimately give you a sort of like hopeful optimism about the future of relationships, right? So I don't really get much toxicity from this pile either. I didn't get it from the first pile. I was like, whenever I pulled these cards, I was kind of thinking of like, what's your like toxic type, like what sort of like person should you be on the lookout for so that you don't make the same mistakes. But like the first 2 piles have been relatively healthy. I mean, some people would say like this is an unhealthy relationship because of the imbalance in power dynamics, and it could be like something you need to work on. But with this like optimistic card and Aquarius, I just feel like it's a little lighter than what what would normally be like super toxic. I feel like this is like manageable if there's any toxicity related to that. But yeah, very interesting. I hope you find a rich person. Mazel tov, invite me to your wedding. Let me know if that resonated. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personal reading, check the description box below. Bye. Pile number 3 with the strawberry. She's cute, isn't she? I like her. What is your type? For pile number 3, we have the lamp, remembrance. Okay. We have patience, love is patient and kind always. I feel like you tend to idealize past people. Like that's your type, right? And so like you might not like actively like people when they're like in your space, right? But whenever there's a separation, whenever there's a distance, then you're like, you know what? That person was the realist. Like, why did things end so badly with that person? And I don't think, I mean, for some of you, of course, this could be a situation where you weren't appreciating what was in front of you. But I feel like for most of you, it's just, there's like a divine timing aspect in your love life, because I feel like there are patterns. So we're talking about your type, right? So there's patterns of like the timing being off with this have patience, right? And there may have been a lot of connections that were made that couldn't manifest for reasons like this person was married, right? So we can't be together because, you know, they have to sort their issue out, and so I have to have patience, right? So you may look back on relationships like that in the past, right? Like, why didn't it work out with that married guy? Right? Like, why didn't he leave that person? But let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. We have Gemini. Interesting. So Gemini, sometimes I can feel like two-faced. So for the third pile, I feel like you might tend to date people who are a little two-faced, and so that's why there is always an ability to remember them fondly, because it's like you don't ever get the full picture of these people, and so like you only get one side, right? But there's a whole other side that you never get to experience just because of like divine timing issues. So it's easy to remember them fondly because you never saw that other side, right? But in a sense, I feel like when we're talking about timing, everything and how it played out, like on the timeline, was for your highest good, because it's like throughout this process you were still able to remain hopeful. But I feel like there's definitely an impatience with Gemini energy. Gemini is the lovers in the tarot, and so it talks about duality, right? It talks about that twin, like twin flame, like needing that other person. So I get that there could be a little bit of anxiety as far as like, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? I remember this, I remember that, you know, like, and you might be like, sort of consumed by memories. But let's see, we have heal the ouch. As I was talking, a couple minutes ago, I was kind of feeling like a codependent energy. And so with heal the ouch, I feel like with your type, you might get into some toxic situations where you feel like you can fix their problem, right? Like you can heal their ouch. So you might become an enabler in their lives, right? So let's talk about if you have been involved in a third-party married relationship. I was telling pile number 2, there's no judgment, no judgment. I have been on all sides of the triangle, so I don't judge. But if you have been or are in a third-party relationship, you could be dealing with issues of codependency where you think, and the other person thinks too, but you enable them to think you can solve all their problems, right? Like, it's just a matter of picking you over the other person, but really that person has to do internal work. And in fact, my opinion is third-party relationships happen when someone isn't willing to face the one, right? The one person, themselves, and their issues. So they seek a third option when they're too scared to look at themselves, right? And also they seek that other options that if one falls through, they'll have a backup, right? Because they're too afraid to be by themselves. So just something to examine with this twin energy, with this double energy, and with this heal the ouch reversed. You know, you aren't responsible for someone else's journey to fix their own issues, to fix their own baggage. So, you know, remembering that guy fondly is great, but just keep in mind that like you don't have to be the superhero, right? Okay, let's keep it moving. We have abundance, okay, your type. And we have beauty. So you might fall for really beautiful people. Who doesn't? But like beauty might actually be a thing in your in the way you choose people or the way someone looks. And I don't judge that either, because aesthetics are important. They tell you a lot about health. Your type might be someone, when I see this abundant, I think of two things. I think maybe you like people on the chunky side, and I'm not knocking it, but like just a little thick, right? Just a little like chunky, or like a little like muscular, or just like you like them thick. You like big booty, or you like big muscles. I don't know, whatever. Just like big, right? Big, abundant. Even if you like a little on the chunky side, that's your prerogative. It's fine. That's your type. But also you might like someone who's very generous and rich. You might like pile number 2, but that was like the extreme sugar daddy version. But you just might like someone who's giving and like generous. And when I think of abundant, I think more like happy. I'll pay for everyone's meal, like we're having a good time, don't worry, I got you, like that type of energy, right? So that's your type, and they might be tend to be very beautiful people. We have heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So you might tend to be drawn to people who are quick-witted, who are good at interpersonal relationships, and Gemini too. Like Gemini is very chatty. Gemini is very like communication driven. So you might really be attracted to that Gemini mercurial energy, that quick witty banter back and forth. But yeah, that's your type. You're attracted to that. You attract those types, and that's the pattern, is someone who is very chatty, very, it's like electric almost. We have separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. I think this goes with like the remembrance and the have patience, and talking about how you seem to sort of idealize them when there is distance, when there is space. Like that's the pattern, that's the trend, right? When you remember them, when you think of them, when you're separated from them, then that's sort of your emotional pull to them. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, with the issues we talked about, the codependency, healing the ouch, like, be aware of that. But otherwise, also have patience. I know with Gemini, mercurial energy, it's like your wheels spin in your head, because Gemini is an air sign, right? And so it's like the hamster wheels spin in your head, and like it can be a little like manic, and like you want like to slow down, right? And so it's hard to have patience whenever you're like have this like rapid speed, right? But I feel like with this have patience, this is giving others the space to heal their own issues. Let me know if that resonated. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading, check the description box below. Bye. Okay, pile number 4. What is your type? We have the crystal choker. What is your type? Pile number 4. Apple, risk and reward. Ooh, so I think you like risky situations. You're attracted to risky situations, adrenaline junkie. You might like people who are really active and adventurous and exciting, right? We have love is all around you. There is love everywhere all the time. Simply acknowledge this as truth. I feel like for this pile, you might be attracted to a lot of different types of people. You might have even been accused of being slutty or promiscuous or something like that. But I feel like you're just attracted to, like you just want to experience a lot of life. Like all that life has to offer, and there's so many people out in the world, right? So like you just want to experience every person. So that's how I feel this pile is. We have Uranus. Uranus is ruled by Aquarius, but this is a rebel. This is someone, this is brilliance, genius, someone who is unconventional, a stroke of just like out of the box, like out of nowhere, rock your world type of energy, right? Transform everything you knew, right? It's like taking the red pill, right? But Uranus is, how would that relate? I think because you like to have all these experiences, it's like you never know what sort of alchemic experience is going to take place. So I feel like for pile 4, you might not even actually have a type. I feel like you, because you're so drawn to like the different, the new, right? And I feel like with this risk and reward and with Uranus, it's like you're drawn to risky situations and unconventional situations because you have to see what happens, right? You have to have that experience. You have to, I feel like you just like won't settle for any conventional way of going about things. Let's see, we have cleaning house reversed. We have get centered. Okay, I'm starting to see something to work on in your type. So it looks like you might attract people and be attracted to people who have a lot of things to clean up in their life. People who are really messy, right? And chaotic because they're not centered, right? So they could be troublemakers, troublesome people, toxic people, broken people, who take these risks and are these exciting people in order to avoid the chaos that they need to deal with, right? So just something to consider that, you know, maybe when you're attracted to someone, ask, am I attracted to the experience or to this person? Just something to consider, right? Is this person going to sort of like wreck my life and, you know, leave me with a messy house? Or are they like, am I in it for the experience or am I in it for the person? Just something to consider. We have perseverance. Okay, so I feel like, I actually don't feel like this is a good perseverance in this case, because I feel like you might attract types who are sort of relentless in their chaos, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean like someone who always calls you to bail them out of jail, someone who always calls you to you know, unlock their car door, who forgot their keys, who, you know, there's just always like something to these people, and I feel like they might rely on you for help when you sort of wanted like more casual, spontaneous adventure, just like a lighthearted experience. I feel like you might encounter types who are a little needy and drain you of like a genuine like generosity and like spirit, like a good like spirit, like lively spirit of you. You know what I'm saying? We have very soon. Clearly decide what you want and it will come to you now. We also have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, visualizations will help you to together. Very soon, calling in your soulmate. With this calling in your soulmate, I feel like this is call, like a ring, like a cell phone, right? And it's from like needy people. I think your type are thrill-seeking, adventurous, exciting, vibrant, lively people, but I feel like they could also be draining to your liveliness and to your like exciting spirit. So just check yourself, okay? And when I see like this very soon, I feel like this is maybe your pattern of jumping into things too soon, right? With very soon, it's like risk and reward. Like, I gotta do this right now, right? Or this risk is never gonna happen again. Like, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I feel like this is just saying to slow down in your attractions and ask again if it's for the experience or for the person. Let me know if that resonated. I love you very much. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. And if you'd like a personal reading, check the description box below. Bye.